Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories where I go with them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to be covering part 7 of the story, which is titled, While Wife Thought Her Affair Was Going Unnoticed, Husband Was Playing the Long Game Preparing for War. And guys, like I've been saying since part 5, I'm no longer going to do the big recap because at this point, you obviously know what's going on and are eager to hear this guy's story here. And all I can say is two things. One, this story is one I've truly been enjoying covering because this guy really has a great sense of humor in spite of what he's going through. And two, truly this is the gift that keeps on giving. And anyway, guys, you're going to see in this update here, things are getting real with his life, his situation, the upcoming divorce, his ex, all that. So I'm going to jump right back into it. So he says here, it's been a tough 3 days. Dude, it's been a tough few months. Jim and Bob are here with me at the Airbnb. They've been hiding all the knives, razors, and grenades and machine guns. Well, you may need them, man. We've been playing board games today, and I'm hungover, and they're keeping me away from my phone. Matt put me in an appearance, but we shoot him away after a couple of games of Catan because he has a pregnant wife, and she's at home, and she's a good woman. A lot of you have asked about Bev's husband. I can't see Bev on social media, so I contacted Matt and asked if he could find her. He talked to his wife, and his wife is online only friends with Bev since she's friends with Emily. Matt's wife couldn't find her either. I asked my lawyer about it, and she tried to find Bev, but could not. So I'm pretty sure that Bev deleted all her social media or set extra special private mode. Well, probably. My question to all of you is, how the hell are we all going to get our daily dose of pictures and restaurant food now? We've been robbed, people. We got the credit card reports, and I went to my lawyer's office Wednesday afternoon as soon as they called me. Lisa arrived soon afterwards, as well as I did. Remember, Lisa is the wife of the dude that was banging this guy's wife. And they're waiting for the credit card information to really go through everything. The bills were being charged to John's wedding venue business. Uh-oh, that's not good if he's using his business credit cards or whatever to pay for personal things. That's commingling funds. That ain't good. So I guess that means Emily's technically his employee. I don't know how this shit works. All are whores contractors. Well, actually, yes. At the beginning, there are charges for hotels and really nice restaurants. There's one local boutique hotel that's pretty expensive, and they seem to settle on that one mostly. That's the one where they were caught by the private investigator in the parking lot. The hotels and restaurants started with one hotel, stayed every Friday, and a couple of expensive restaurant charges every week. The hotel stays lined up with appointments with John in Emily's appointment book. I'm not so naive that I think that they only did it in hotels, though. So there was probably more. $500 for a couple of hours at the hotel, though. John must have been their favorite customer. All this money this guy is shelling out just to sleep with this chick. It's ridiculous. There was a $1,000 hotel charge on New Year's Eve. $1,000 for a freaking room just to bang this chick. I don't know exactly what happened, but what I think happened is that she paid for the hotel as usual with the card. They met at the hotel. Then he took her home to his McMansion until after midnight, and finally he took her back to the hotel parking lot. She didn't Uber, though. There wasn't a charge for that on the card, so John gave her a lift, such a gentleman. The thing that destroyed me was a charge for $174.61 at a local adult superstore about 3 weeks after she first got the card. Before I get called out, the records we got from the credit card company were a lot more detailed than regular credit card statements. So even though the charge was such and such enterprises, it was easy to connect the dots to the adult superstore with the records that we got from the credit card company. Holy crap. Yeah, it's funny. What pisses him off the most is the charge for the adult superstore. What do you think was happening at the money was being spent on these hotel rooms and expensive restaurants and him wooing and dating her and all that? He says, that's right. Early on, my wife and her fair partner went to the friendly neighborhood sex shop together. Magical. $175. Was it a 55-gallon drum of lube? A gross of teensy tiny condoms. After a couple months more, and more charges appeared for Saks Fifth Avenue, local boutiques, spa treatments, gas stations, and grocery stores. A good portion were business-related charges for her salon. John paid for our date nights. I guess this is what it meant by handling me. I remember Emily giving me gifts, but they were clothes and shoes, and I'm not a fashion guy, so I didn't know where they were that expensive. When she gave them to me at the time, she didn't make it out like it was a big deal. It was just, I got some new clothes and shoes for you. Try it on for me, honey. And then, ooh, you look so handsome. Aw, shucks, ma'am. This is when she was paying extra attention to me and really engaging with me. So you recall in this story, guys, that, during this whole thing, there were times when she was really, I wouldn't say love bombing him, but really giving him the extra attention. Obviously to throw him off, because behind the scenes, she was hooking up with this dude, spending all this money on hotel rooms, restaurants, the adult superstore, all that. God, I had felt so lucky and in love with her at the time. It was so I was so goddamn happy, like an idiot. I looked at my leather loafers online, and they were $500. I had 2 other pairs of shoes from her. Emily had told me that she was doing a lot better in her business, and that she could afford to foot some of the bills, of course, and I was overjoyed. Yeah, because in one way or another, he was paying for things. But hey, you know what? He was paying for things. I was so clueless. Bro, you're young. You were in love. You thought you had a great thing going. The last thing you thought that she would do this to you. You're not alone. Plenty of guys are in this situation. How do I know? One, I'm 47 and I've lived a life, and many things I haven't gotten into about my personal life, and I'm keeping that on purpose. But I can tell you, we all have experience in this. And not to mention the 3,500 videos I've done over the last 5 years on YouTube. Believe me, you're not alone. So the charges tapered off in October, and in December, the only charges after the hotel were presumably when she bought Christmas presents for everyone. There was a charge for a local toy store, the non-adult kind, for a change. And all in all, she racked up close to $30,000 on the credit card. Holy shit. So he's paying for a lot. She's paying for a lot. 30 grand. The worst part is, obviously they're going to divorce. Them divorcing is not the worst part. The worst part is they divorce, and if somehow he's on the hook for some of these charges. It wouldn't be the first time. She even paid a few utility bills with it. I mean, who was controlling her, who here? She was groomed and manipulated by him. It sounds to me like John was a complete sucker for my wife, and she was using the hell out of him. I almost feel sorry for the guy. No, you don't, and I certainly wouldn't. I guess I'm really an oblivious pimp. I'm fucking done. I'm so fucking done with this nasty hooker, y'all, who you don't even know. Whatever lingering doubts I had are completely gone, evaporated. Dude, I never thought that there was any possible chance that you get back with her. Not at all. And I know your soon-to-be ex-mother-in-law has been trying to pull some strings to get you to take her back. Don't fall for it, and obviously you're not. He says, adult superstore. I'm imagining a Costco warehouse with shrink-wrapped pallets of dildos stacked up on top of the shelves. Gallon-sized bottles of Kirkland sex lube and pumps on the top, sold in packages of 2. They walked in there together, made purchases there together. I'm done. I'm so goddamn done, he says. I think I can meet with her now face to face. Now I just feel nothing but loathing for her. Well, then that's the thing. You see, the opposite, a lot of people say the opposite of love is hate. It's not. The opposite of love is indifference. And right now he's saying, I feel nothing but loathing for her. Well, that's not indifference. So obviously, when you reach the point that literally you feel nothing, and it's like, whatever, bitch, I just want to get rid of you, then you know. But this is understandable. I mean, he's with her all this time. He's going to have a roller coaster of emotions. So since there's a gag order on the subpoena, Emily and John aren't going to know we have these records until we blindside them with either in negotiations or in the discovery process. Well, that should be fun to see. I was wrong about them being notified. I misinterpreted what my attorney said again. Her goal is to have an early negotiation and blindside Emily and her attorney with what we know. Well, listen to your attorney. It's what you're paying her for. Oh yeah, Emily has an attorney now as well. Aha! Here we go. Now we're going to see if all her begging and pleading and all that bullshit does a 180 and it's full-on Wrath of Khan shit. It's full-on the claws are out. The claws and the fangs. And her parents are paying for the attorney. Hang on. If Emily's so successful in her business, why are her parents paying the attorney? Her mom texted me that. When I thought her business was doing awesome, that was just her spending John's money. I have no idea how it is, but if Emily's parents are paying for the attorney, I think either her business is in trouble or she's keeping her success from them. Or maybe she's just a leech. I don't know the woman anymore. Well, okay, she was racking up all those charges on the credit card, and obviously he's been paying for them over time because obviously that's the case. You know, he has a history of her credit card charges. They get racked up, and that dude pays for them or something like that. But maybe she probably is just lying to her parents. Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't have any money. And they're paying for it. She is a fucking leech. The truth will come out when she has to give up her business financial records during discovery. My attorney is going to try to get Emily and her attorney into the office for an early round of negotiations towards a settlement, trying to avoid a formal trial. I think I want to be there when Emily is blindsided with the truth. Maybe she'll text the lawyer her parents paid for that she had a credit card from her sugar daddy. Yeah, right. Yeah, I think after covering this story this long, I too would like to be in that room. Shit, put up a fucking webcam for us. When COVID had her business sidelined, she raided our entire emergency fund to keep it afloat. That's your money. Therefore, you should own a piece of this business. I suppose it was an emergency, but she kept it for me. We had a huge fight about it, and we ended up putting alerts on the vacation fund and emergency fund. FYI, I mentioned this in comments in earlier posts. The next part is so embarrassing to me. After reading the card statements and thinking about my wife and the guy she was fucking going to an adult superstore together, I just looked at my lawyer and Lisa, who were also going over the records and cross-referencing things with Lisa's records. I asked them if they thought I was good looking. They were taken aback and said yes, I was good looking. In hindsight, the whole thing was so fucking embarrassing. I get chills thinking about asking that. What were they going to say? No, you look totally busted? We can barely stomach being in the same room as you. Okay, so obviously he was asking them because he's thinking, what the hell's wrong with me that she would cheat on me? Not just cheat on me, but full-blown affair and all this whole thing here. It's understandable. My lawyer figured out where my head was and told me that she's been representing tons of divorce cases, and the people she's seen cheating on were all different kinds of levels of attractiveness. Some would put supermodels to shame. She says she's seen cheaters that were very attractive, and she's seen cheaters who wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. She said in all cases it was all about the cheater and not the cheated. Lisa started tearing up a little bit. I barely kept it together. I'm so embarrassed thinking about it now. Well, ideally you don't want to cry in front of other people, especially women, but, dude, your whole life's turning upside down, you know? It's alright. As long as you don't cry in front of your fucking ex. Afterwards, I asked my lawyer if John could maybe sue me for the credit card charges since I benefited from them, and he's being sarcastic with that. And she said that even though this is America and anyone can sue anybody for anything, he'd have a ridiculously small chance of winning in court, and no lawyer worth their salt would go after me. Lisa asked if she could sue Emily, but the lawyer shut that down too, saying that Emily was given a card by John, and even though it had her name on it, the person at fault in this case is John, and that all that money spent on the affair will be accounted for in Lisa's divorce settlement. Lisa was adamant about hamstringing John totally and completely. There's no alienation of affection laws in our state, unfortunately, so John is safe from me. Emily is safe from Lisa. I told Lisa in a mock serious tone that she's not getting a goddamn cent out of me, and my lawyer laughed. The lawyer said that she'll be handing over the information to the IRS with Lisa's permission, of course. Ooh, he says, audit ahoy, John. Yep, they're going to be interested in his records because he's going to be because he was putting all these charges on his business for the credit card charges for hotel rooms and restaurants and everything. And it's one thing if it's for business, of course, but he wasn't using it for business. But I bet you he was writing it off. And all it takes is it won't be too hard to connect the dots with the freaking auditor to see, and he's going to be in deep shit. I just want all this in my rear view mirror so fucking badly I can taste it. Congratulations, Emily. You successfully annihilated all lingering affection and concern I had for you. Mission accomplished. I don't give a fuck what happens to you now. Have you heard about infidelity baseball? I'm experiencing infidelity dodgeball. He says here also, I went to my office on Thursday and Friday for some in-person meetings and do some pair programming with a new hire for a couple of days to bring him up to speed on our proprietary stuff. The new hires usually work in the office for roughly 2 to 3 months to evaluate them and to work with the team in person before allowing them to go remote. Since he's on my team, I have to go in regularly to help out, but mostly I can pair a program from home. It's not a bad idea that he's going into the office, because otherwise he's cooped up in his Airbnb all the time alone, and back and forth between wallowing in misery to being angry, and it's good he gets out. He says, on Friday, yesterday, I got a call from the guard station in the lobby that I had a visitor. I asked them who's visiting me, and they said it was my wife. She's showing up at his work. I told him that I wasn't taking visitors today and to tell her to go away. The guard seemed taken aback, but said okay. So I ate lunch that day at my desk, and the new guy went out to eat. He came back and told me there was a total smoke show waiting for me just outside the building. Some of my colleagues were like, really? And got up to go look. She apparently had seen his ID and key card because he's new, and wears it on a lanyard around his neck rather than shoving in his pocket like everybody else. I told him I wasn't interested in seeing her, and he looked at me like I was crazy. So his coworkers sound like a bunch of simps. They see one pretty woman and they lose their minds. Emily, his soon-to-be ex-wife, did herself up and is waiting for him, and they're all like going goo-goo gaga over her. She's one fucking chick, guys. I explained to him that's my soon-to-be ex-wife. I know he was trying to make friends with the senior guy, and he was a little socially awkward, so I tried to downplay any annoyance I had with him. He asked me why I'd dump a girl who looked like that, and I explained to him that she cheated on me. He wanted the gory details, and all the little groundhogs were popping their heads up above the cubicle walls, and I told him and them there's nothing more to say, and it's all very dull and conventional. It is none of their fucking business. Fuck, these guys, they must be in the tech industry. A lot of dorks in the tech industry. No offense. And I got guys in the tech industry watching me, but you all know you're fucking dorks. A lot of you. Oh my God, a woman. We gotta hear about this. Jesus, it's none of their fucking business. He asked me who she cheated with. Again, none of his fucking business. And I said a business associate. That seemed to satisfy him, and all the little groundhogs went back to down behind their cubicle walls. I didn't go down and take a look at her. The fact that the new guy called her a total smoke show tells me she went on full glam. After knowing she went sex shopping with John, I was afraid of what I'd do or say. I decided I'd get ahead on some tasks that evening and stay until midnight. Now, just in case, I left in the back service entry door, where the smokers go out to smoke, and sneaked in my car and my head snapping around on a swivel like a goddamn crazy person. And I dodged her. He says, how the fuck did she know I was here? Has she been showing up regularly or something? I'm usually not in the building. She's obviously very calculating. She obviously is not stupid. You know, she's been tailing you, obviously. For all you know, she put one of those whatever those tracking devices from Apple, whatever. She probably put on his fucking car. Who knows? How the fuck did she know I was there? Has she been showing up regularly or something? I'm usually not in the building. She's turning into this Colorado River of batshit, carving out a Grand Canyon of crazy in my goddamn head. How's that for imagery? I never thought I'd get to this point. I thought I'd always have some kind of affection for her, you know, some kind of pity. But I'm done. I'm completely done. Well, that's good. That'll make your divorce easier for you. She could tell me she had terminal cancer, and I'd feel the same way as if a total stranger told me. I'm so sorry. I hope you were wrong, and it's not terminal. I'm not. I hope you don't suffer too much. Good luck, and then go about my day as normal. I confess that a tiny part of me was thinking about that. Given distance and time, we might come back together in some peaceful way in the future. That's all shot to hell now. Well, good. If it takes finding things about her and what she was doing behind the scenes enough to make you so angry and disgusted with her, if that means that will minimize any chance of you thinking maybe you'll forgive her, well, good. Because, damn it, she's going to try. He finishes up saying, it's astounding to me. I thought at least some small part of me would love her forever, you know. Even the happy memories I have, especially during our wonderful bonding and romantic times that happened during her affair, are all tainted now. She was the love of my life, and I thought it would be forever. Like beyond death even. But here we are. When it comes to Emily, I'm just a black void inside now. I'm angry that I wasted almost half my life and all my love on a straight-up prostitute. God, what a sucker I am. And that wraps up part 7. So we're getting in the thick of this, and it ain't over. But yeah, those financial records, that told him everything you need to know. I mean, it's not like he didn't have a pretty darn good idea what was going on, but to actually see the records right in front of him from American Express and to see all the timelines of this hotel and that hotel and those restaurants when she was claiming she was working. And this poor guy, but he has a good sense of humor. But there was no going back to this. Just listen to your lawyer, take it one day at a time. He hasn't mentioned, I don't recall he's mentioned anything about going to a gym or exercise. He needs some fucking exercise to help him feel better, but I wasn't joking when I said we're going to be on part 26 by the summertime. About every week to 2 weeks is another update here. So as long as he keeps doing this, I'll keep posting because you guys like it and I find it very entertaining. I truly want to see how this whole thing turns out. And I do wish him the best. So, brother, don't know if you ever saw this, but I wish you the best and keep on trucking. We're rooting for you over here on this channel and hope to hear from you soon. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And, guys, if you find an update to the story or another good one, send it my way. strongsuccessfulmail@gmail.com, and I'll definitely cover it. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.